Hello everyone, once again I welcome you all to my video. This is the video of class 7. The subject is science. As we are talking with our, that means we are dealing with our chapter, that is the physical and the chemical change. So we are having a subtopic, that is the evolution of gases. That means the gas is also evolved during the chemical reaction. Now let's see how the gases evolved over here we are having one example. That means uh, here let's see first this one. Sometime a gas is evolved in the form of bubbles, that is called effervescence. Okay, so whenever we see that from that means the mixture of two things, if the bubbles are coming, so that is called the effervescence. Now here just do an experiment in your home only. Take a beaker, just add some vinegar over there, and just put the soda that is present in your home, just put that one. You will see that a bubble, that means just after few seconds only the bubbles will come out, and that bubbles contain a gas that is called the carbon dioxide. So in this experiment it has been shown that gas has been transferred to the that means the lime water. So whenever the lime water reacts with the carbon dioxide, they forms it milky white. That means this is the formation of calcium carbonate. So from here we can understand that the in the chemical process the gas is also evolved. Now here we have to see the change of state. Now for the change of state we have to move to this diagram to see the change in the state. Now here, when a water is passed with the electricity, just like here battery is there. When the battery, that's mean it is a source of electricity. When electricity is passed with the water, this is the water, this is the water. So what will happen when it will be passed? Actually two gases will be that means evolved out. First is the hydrogen gas. That means here this is the hydrogen gas, and this from second one this is the oxygen. These two are the gases. So from here we have got that when the water is passed with the electricity, it will just liberate two gases, that is the oxygen and the hydrogen. So here we comes the changes in energy. So what is this changes in energy? Now changes in energy, here it is written chemical change involve exchange of energy, that is either absorption of energy or evolution of energy takes place. Now the absorption of energy is known as endothermic reaction, and if the energy is evolved then it is known as the exothermic reaction. So let's see in detail what is exothermic and what is endothermic. Now here from the endothermic we are having this one, the endothermic. Okay, now our activities are only given over here. Now it is telling that just you have to take a lemon juice. Okay, now add some powder, that is the sodium bicarbonate into it. That means just take a lemon juice and put sodium bicarbonate, that means the soda. Okay, you will observe effervescence due to the release of carbon dioxide. You will see over here, that means the bubbles will come out. Note the temperature of that solution again. Now before adding the soda we have to check the temperature. Again we have to check the temperature after the bubbling. We will note that there is a the temperature will fall with a 10 degree Celsius. That means we can say the heat is not released, and this that means this change is just that means energy, that means they are consuming the energy, so it is known as the endothermic change. Now in the case of exothermic change, anything that we burn and when the heat is released, so that is called the exothermic change. Just like burning a piece of paper, heat will be given out, so it is an exothermic change. When a fuel burn, it gives out heat and light. So just I have told you, anything that will burn, it will gives us the heat and the that means heat and the light. So here we can see that the all the burning things can gives us the heat and the light. So this is the exothermic change. Okay, the next topic we are having here, that is the corrosion. So what is this corrosion? So let's see what is corrosion. So when a iron plate is left, that means in the moisture, or if they comes in the contact with the water, that means mostly moisture. If they are directly come in the contact with the moisture, if there is no outer covering or outer coating present on that iron, so on that case there will be rust present, that is called the. So here the iron is here and moisture is also here and the oxygen is also present. So in presence of oxygen, if the water, if the moisture comes in contact with iron, so it will produce the iron oxide, that means it will produce the rust. That rust is known as the corrosion. So let's see what is written over here. If these iron object are not painted, they get a reddish brown layer. This brown layer is called the rust. So rust forms when iron is exposed to air. The thing what I have told you all, just the same thing it is also telling. So what is corrosion? Let's see. This type of reaction in which metal react with the moisture, air and develop a layer on them, this is called the corrosion. So when a metal reacts with the moisture, air, this is called the corrosion. Corrosion of iron is called the rusting. Now during corrosion, chemical reaction occur with the upper layer of the metal. You might have seen some iron object lying outside and develop hole in them. This is due to the rusting. So how to protect the iron from the rusting? As we all know, two things can protect the iron from the rusting. First is the painting. If you paint that one, so that means the paint will not allow the iron to contact with the air and the water. The second one we are having the oiling and greasing. So heavy machines are oftenly lubricated with oil. Applying oil on the metal surface prevent the water from reaching the surface. So the water and the oil do not mix with each other, though we can say that if you are doing the oiling or greasing with any metal surface, so there is a layer on them. The other process we are having the galvanization. So what is this galvanization? Coating of an iron object with a thin layer of zinc. So if you are putting a thin layer of zinc in some metal object, so that is called the galvanization. Zinc form a layer of zinc oxide on its reaction with oxygen, which act as a barrier into between iron and the atmosphere. So galvanization is also a process of, that means to protect it from the corrosion. Electroplating. So how is electroplating done? Actually the electroplating is done by the electric current. Just as we all know that the chromium or the nickel coating by the electroplates prevent the rusting of the lot of things, just like auto parts, bathroom fittings, tapes, showers, all these things. What is this steening? So the steening is a new thing that we are having here. So what is tin? Tin is used for making container or utensil of iron, brass, copper for storing foodstuffs. The cans used for packing ghee, oil, milk powder, etc. are also made from the tin iron sheet. So there is a special type of sheet that is called the tin, and it will not react with the moisture. The last one we are having, that is the alloying. So what is the alloy? Alloy is the mixture of two metals. So let's see what is written in the alloy part. Alloy. So when iron mixed with the chromium and nickel forms stainless steel that does not rust at all. So as I have told you, two metals will form when it is mixed to a non-metal. This is known as alloy. So when two or more metals are mixed in definite proportion into their molten state, a new solid mixture is formed, that is called an alloy. So up to here only we will read today. In the next video we are going to deal with the other part. So have a nice day.